Pasito tum tum, pasito tum tum, pasito tum tum, pasito tum tum.
Hello, this is Chef Willie. Welcome to a classic modern review. You know how every end of the year you get someone that makes their own top 10 best movies of the year or their top 10 worst movies of the year? Well, not this, little fishy. Oh no, we're gonna look at a side that nobody has ever done before. We're gonna be focusing on the movies that are simply okay. These are the movies that either fall in the average radar, or were good, but they don't stay with you, or had mixed reviews, or they're just simply forgettable by some. And the fun side of it is, it could be made of anything, best or worst. It could be made of movies the majority liked, but you found eh. Or a movie that everyone despised, but you found yourself enjoying it. So I hereby announce the debut of this list. These are the top 10 okay movies of 2016. So let this countdown begin with my favorite number of all time, number 10! X-Men Apocalypse. Remember that Return of the Jedi reference they made about how the third of the trilogy is always the worst? Yeah, that's what this film is. Not as awful as many say, but not the best of the trilogy. On second thought, why not let the villain win? Yeah, screw a happy ending. The X-Men die, the world is enslaved and set on fire. Something like that to fresh out these super powerful villains that come to the earth and somehow they get easily beaten by these mortals. Talk about defeating the internet. The internet! What a cock! Number 9, like German 9! Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. My issue with this is how forgettable most of these characters are, especially the main lead, which I did not care whether if he or his friends came out alive. I mean, it's not horrible, but definitely a prequel series that I am not looking forward to seeing. Number 8! The Jungle Book. I don't get why everyone acts like this is the greatest thing ever. Okay, the special effects look great, and the kid actors, sells the animals are there, but so as well did Life of Pi. The kid could be annoying once in a while, and I still stand, those songs came out unnecessary. Listen, Disney, you don't need to feed our nostalgia all the time. You're already doing plenty of that. Hey! Knock knock. Who's there? Number 7! Race. The story of an African American who wins the Berlin Olympics during the Third Reich. Oops! Also, did I spoil it for anyone? Well, it's a sport movie. What do you expect? Especially if it's based on history that even I heard it before. Still, nice portrayal on the individuals. Next. Just in case you can't read it, number 6! Moana. Following up its predecessor Frozen, which brought Disney to a step forward, this one brought it a step backwards with its painfully repeated cliches. Sure, it does one thing new, and it's an enjoyable film with its simple story for kids and maybe enjoyable for adults. Though I haven't heard any kid recently pop a song out of this one. Well, that sums it up. Ahem. Number 5. Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. Hey, a Tim Burton film that doesn't start off with Johnny Depp? Way to go for that originality! While I may have a nitpick with the message, this made me appreciate Tim Burton's style of story and remind me of how visually fun it is to watch these movies by their unique art designs, character designs, an over-the-top Samuel Jackson as the villain, and this charismatic chair. If you're a Tim Burton fan and you haven't seen this film, well, the hell is wrong with you? 2 plus 2 equals number 4. Risen. While it is a Bible-based story, well, with a few additions to it, like the Centurion, it has a simple but innocent angle to the death and resurrection of Christ. It relies on the themes of faith, doubt, and rediscovering of our own. We see the events of the agnostic centurion's point of view as a representation of how would we react if there is a God. We'd be found in chilling shock, having several questions but no idea what to ask. It's a film that won't win awards, but it's an honorable mention even if it's solid. Is it 1? Is it 2? Is it 1, 2, 3? Pete's Dragon. Hey, a film that starts off with Bryce Dallas Howard, and I don't find myself hating her after so many roles that got onto my nerves? Good for you, woman! For me to have no interest on watching this film, I was surprised to see some nicely well acting and a solid theme about imagination. The scenes with the boy and the dragon are charming, and he alone does a very good job. I'm glad I saw this film, and I can see myself seeing it again. Number 2! Yeah! Hail Caesar! Directed by the Coen brothers as a love letter to the epics from the 50s, it's an entertaining, well, most of the time, crowded by a huge cast of well-known celebrities. Even though it didn't quite hit as great or top best as I was hoping, it was a decent, solid movie with witty comedy and some memorable lines in it.
Would that it were so simple. Would that it were so simple.
Now get ready, cause this is gonna shock some of you. And the number 1 okay movie of 2016 is...
Suicide Squad.
I know. Some of you hate this film, some of you love this film, which is why I'm giving it the number 1 spot.
So what? Am I saying that it's better than Hail Caesar or any of the ones that I mentioned before? Absolutely not! This is not about which one is the best or the worst. This is about which one falls in the middle of these two categories. If you were to ask me which one divided viewers the most, which one turned critics and audiences' opinion in the middle of the argument, well, DC did a great job this year dividing audiences, so I had to pick one of the two lesser of evils. And you can have any opinion you want about this movie. You may love it, you may hate it. To me it was a low okay. Some people thought this Joker was excellent, others thought this Joker was awful. Personally, I'm not a fan of this Joker. Some people loved Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn, some people hated it. Personally, I enjoyed it. In my first review I made of Suicide Squad, I said I didn't think she captured much of the craziness of the character, but then I realized she doesn't need to. Look at those eyes. You can tell right away she's completely psycho. I also ranted on how, despite not hating the movie, I was not happy with DC falling average at best. Even though I'm promoting averageness by making this list, whatever. If anything, they should be doing better than anyone, and I want them to do great. After Batman v Superman disappointing, this one was the most determined by die-hard fans to defend from the evil critics. And it's funny how they will jump at you if you dare to say anything wrong about this movie. Again, I didn't hate this film, and who knows, I might even check it out again and find out that it was really bad. But for right now, I have to give it to Suicide Squad as the one standing in the middle of the argument.
Now you might ask, but Willie, if you put Suicide Squad in this list, how come we don't see a Batman v Superman on this list? Because that belongs in another list. A bad one! So, what you thought of the movies of 2016? Did you love them? Did you hate them? What's your top 10 best movies of the year? What's your top 10 worst movies of the year? Or even then, what movies you found okay at best? I'd like to hear your thoughts on it. You can leave your comments down below. Like, subscribe, and what will be some movies you'd like me to review later? Well guys, tune in next time because I'll be returning for the traditional classics and modern reviews. So for now, that's it for today. Ciao. Boss.